Divine Nine TV, how it helps community rise up and shine. Owned by the culture, led by the divine. Let's rise up and shine on with Divine Nine TV.
How do we deal with people that we love who are diagnosed with mental illness?
When someone is dealing with any mental illness, whether it's bipolar disorder, whether it's schizophrenia, whether it is anxiety or depression, one of the things we have to be careful about, if we are the person who is supporting that person, I want you to get this visual. If the person you love is in sinking sand, if they're in quicksand, if they are falling down, you cannot get in the quicksand with them. Somebody has to stand on solid ground. Somebody has to stand out and reach out to help. Because what often happens is that if that person is having increased mania, or if that person is having a low, and you get in that with them, now both of you are in that place. Somebody has to stay on solid ground. Now listen, when I say that, even when I'm working with my clients, when I say that, it can feel like you're disconnecting. I'm not saying that you have to disconnect, but somebody has to stay solid. And so you stay solid and you keep reaching out saying, I'm here to help, I'm here to help. Because here's the reality. When you're dealing with any mental illness, it does come a point when that person has to be willing to get the support. And so as you're going through that journey, somebody has to stay solid. And so that's one of the things I would highly recommend. And then also, when that person is at a normal space. Now, let me just say this. Let me just go here. All of us have something, okay?
Yes,
I want to let all of us know we all have something. And the reason why I want us to understand that is because we don't want to make people who have a diagnosed mental illness feel like y'all are over there and we're over here, okay? So all of us are dealing with something. This is how I break it down. Whether or not your something is starting to interfere with your everyday life, okay? And so if somebody is dealing with a mental illness, when they are in a good space, again, that's when you put the plan in place. When they're in a good space, when they're in a calm space, you put the plan in place of how you're going to help. So just remember, somebody has to stay solid. So if they are spiraling, you can't spiral with them.
You know, I've heard that there is a bunch of undiagnosed mental illness in the LGBT community. I just have to end it there. So I just kind of am wondering, what are the signs that you look for? How do you recognize that?
So one of the things we have to understand is that in the LGBTQIA plus community, we're dealing with a double whammy. We're dealing often with people who are feeling isolated, who are feeling marginalized, and not even feeling, who are being marginalized. And so often that stressor can begin to trigger symptoms that lead toward needing to get ongoing support. So this is what I would say to anyone who is needing the support. Number one, go get it. Go get the support. I mean, I know that sounds simple, but so many times you're just carrying the burden. And the second thing I would say is that I truly believe for that community, you need referral-based therapy. You need someone who has worked with that particular therapist before, because there are specialties. There are specialty for people who are in that community who can get specialized help. But here's another suggestion I would have. I truly believe in group therapy. And the reason why I truly believe in group therapy, because that gives you that synergy, that gives you that community, and that gives you that support. You have other people with you who can say, been there, done that, got you, I have your back. So I truly encourage you to consider finding some group therapy as well. It's super easy. Well, I shouldn't even say it's super easy, but it's doable. One of the first things you can do is, again, reach out to people who've gotten therapy before, because they can give you a great referral.
Subscribe and you'll see the power of Divine Nine TV, how it helps community rise up and shine. Owned by the culture, led by the divine. Let's rise up and shine on with Divine Nine TV.com. Owned by the culture, led by divine. Let's rise up and shine
on with Divine Nine. What up, sexy people? What up, beautiful people? How's everybody feeling tonight? Tonight, the sun will shine tonight. Shit, I don't even know what I'm singing. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Nights with NICCI. Wow. First, let me invite everybody into the chat. Welcome, TikTok over here. Welcome to my TikTok family. Hold on, let me do this right. Let's give TikTok a round of applause. I don't think that was a good enough round of applause. Let's make it another one real nice and loud. Boom. Thank you for the sound effects. Let's give the people over at Instagram a nice big round of applause. And of course, my babies over there on affectionately known as Twitter, but the real business name is called X. Let's give X a round of applause. That's right. That's right. The X people are here. Let's give our LinkedIn people a round of applause. Welcome, LinkedIn. Welcome to my bougie folks over at LinkedIn. And let's give our YouTube people a round of applause. So you guys, true story. First of all, thank you guys for joining me again for another, what I hope to be a conversation that is informative. Hopefully one that inspires some critical thinking skills. And this is all opinion, and a lot of this stuff is alleged, and all the legal stuff that we have to say to make sure that, we don't expose ourselves to, liability for our opinion. Because these days, honey, opinions will get your ass in trouble. Just a couple things I want to share. For those of you who might be coming in and bopping in for the first time, do me a huge favor and hit the like button. Now, I know if you watch me on Instagram, if you watch me on TikTok, if you watch me on other outlets, the like button maybe isn't as accessible, because the like button on YouTube is the one I'm referring to, but y'all can give me hearts on TikTok, because I think on TikTok, the more hearts that you guys give me, the more it sends it out. The algorithm says, hey, here's a conversation that you guys might be interested in. But on YouTube, I know for sure. If you guys would be so kind as to hit the like button so that we know that you are here. Oh my goodness, I cannot be out here not acknowledging my YouTube chat. Hey Mohammed, I see you. Hey Seabreeze, I see you as well. And I see I have quite a number of people watching me on X. So I want to say to my folks on X, what's really interesting to me is I don't know what's going on with these other algorithms, right? Listen, Linda, but X, when y'all show up, y'all show up. So I'm going to actually go an extra step, no pun intended, an extra step. And I'm going to give y'all another round of applause, because my audience over on X is shitting on the audiences over on the other platforms. And I don't know if that is just because there is more freedom of speech allowed on that platform. I don't know if it just isn't shadow banned, but let's turn this into a competition. Y'all send the TikTok. Okay, now TikTok is going up. I see my TikTok numbers going up. Instagram, listen, I love y'all. And what's crazy is we talk about this all the time, but I have 200,000 followers on Instagram, and I think 5 of them get the notifications about my live, or at least that's what they show me. Yeah, so anyway, I am so excited about tonight's show. It's been a minute. What I realized that I did not do, and I don't, as a music person, as a person who, is all about music and vibes, I want to make sure that y'all get y'all intro music. Come on, let's come up with some lyrics to this. What's up? I see you, Erica. I see you, Jam and J Lamont. I see you, Purple Diva. I see you, Victoria. I see you, The Real Papa. I see you, Mohammed. I see you, Chuck. I see you, It's D. It's D, I will answer your question. I see you, Real Jamar. I see all my people. I see my people up in here. I see my people up in here. All right, y'all. I just had to give you guys some vibes to set the tone, to set the room. Because tonight on Nights with NICCI, in true NICCI Jizzle Product Shizzle fashion, we are going to be talking about things that people probably would, say are lack levity, maybe. This is an objective, a place for, all perspectives and objective conversations. We'll get into some Q&A. I see that there's some questions. I'm shocked that there are still P-Valley questions still out here in the chat. But I understand that some people are new. So I want to always respect that. And I want to give everybody an opportunity to have their voices heard, especially as long as it is kind, as long as it is considerate of all subject matter and folks talking about the subject matter, and it is with the best of intention, right? Because I don't believe that you have to be mean or nasty or disrespectful to get a point across. I think that is some shit people do when they can't think of the words to say. When they can't use their big words, then they use their mean words. And I just don't do much of that here at all. Some people, want it, it's interesting because we become a society where the loudest and the most egregious and the most hostile shit gets the platform and the following, right? So we're going to just still keep it sexy, still keep it classy, and still keep it real. And that's something I like to pride myself on, you guys. We're doing more nights with NICCI because thanks to you guys can thank the cast of It Girls for the extra time that I have to do these lives. I miss these lives. I miss you guys. For some of you know, some of you do not. I've been in the trenches working on a really incredible new project, and it is called It Girls. It is fantastic. It is cast. It has some of your faves in it. And because your faves are so dope and they're other people's faves too, our production was actually pushed back a little bit. So we're going to start production I'm not even gonna put it out there, but it's going to be soon in the next 60 days. 60 days we'll be starting our production on something I'm really proud of, a story I think is long overdue. It is filled with a lot of really talented people. It is a musical production, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. We're also getting into the microdrama space. For those of you who don't know, microdrama is just a vertical. Y'all know Country Wayne was doing it, right? Right. It's just interesting how things get labeled and they are called something new and innovative and different. And we've been watching verticals since Country Wayne been doing them, and that's been for a minute. And basically, what that is, for those of you who don't know, is a vertical. And there's probably like it's much more nuanced than that. But short story is they're very short, 1.5 minute, compelling bits of content that hopefully keep your attention long enough to just keep scrolling. So we're calling them verticals. We're calling them what do you call them? Micro dramas. You know what I'm saying? I might as well coin mine the first urban musical micro drama. You know what I mean? Because we're just putting names on things that I think, have been around for a while, which is traditionally what, folks tend to do. So guys, I've been well. Thank you guys. I've gotten a lot of inquiries about, how you feeling, how you doing. And you know how people be like, no, really, no, you good. And I'm not laughing at people showing genuine concern for me. I'm actually super grateful for it. And I'm here. Hey, Victoria, I see you, beautiful sister. Thank you for showing up tonight. You guys, please, as you come into WIRF.TV YouTube channel, please make sure that you hit like. And if you're watching me from other platforms, just tell the people, hey, listen, share the live. You need to come holler at NICCI Gilbert Daniels because she's, on Nights with NICCI. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Nights with NICCI's back again. But yeah, I've been good. I have been good. I mean, the holidays are definitely going to be difficult. It's interesting because I've been posting a lot of content. I opened the show up with content about, the conversation of mental health and wellness and grief during the holidays, right? And part of the reason why I started this platform, you guys, is because I noticed, for those of you who may be new to the channel, for those of you who may have just happened upon this live because you saw big red lips and black gums pop up on your screen, I produce content that I hope goes a little deeper than just entertaining people, right? I sort of coined this, entertain, uplift, and inspire. But what I've learned in my years of producing, content in an industry that, monetizes trauma right? Traumatainment is what I like to call it sometimes affectionately, when I get pissed off and I be trying to say it in a nice way. Traumatainment. I believe that we should be able to entertain people, but we should also, especially in our community with all the things that are happening, um, we should also be able to have real conversations that go beyond just entertaining people. And it's been really difficult for me as a creator who really cares about the community, right? I know it sounds like, oh yeah, it's difficult for you as a creator who cares about the community, or is it difficult for you because R&B divas? Well, that too, but part of what happened with R&B divas, goes back to the fact that will always be a creator who cares about people and who doesn't believe that we should have to sell our souls, for lack of a better word, in order to take advantage of the many opportunities that are afforded people who are in the public eye, right? Because, there are other people, I believe, other cultures who don't have to go as deep and get as muddy. You have to go as far into the mud in order to have these opportunities presented. But for whatever reason, we have been branded in the media as, people who you can make a lot of money off of our trauma, and you can make a lot of money off of the terrible things that happen within our community. And a lot of the things are directly connected to poverty, right? A lot of things are, from our lack of access to good health, to our lack of access to medical care, to good food, to just the generational trauma that has been passed down, right? And this isn't we're not going into the, small violin situation. And I hate it because when you start having these conversations, number one, this is where the algorithm takes the 3 people watching down to 1, right? Because you just don't, we're just not interested in that. We just, it's not cool. It's not what we want to promote on our algorithms. We want, come on, let's drop it low and spread it wide. Can we bang, bang, shoot them up? Can we get some crack on the corner? And it's been happening so much. And it has been so, and I'm going to get to the Jeffrey Epstein, Michael Jackson shit that y'all came for, because I understand that there are a lot of people waiting around to see what I have to say about my former boss, Michael Jackson's connection, or alleged connection, excuse me, no disrespect, sir, I mean it with my whole heart, his alleged connection to this Epstein stuff. And I want to talk about a little bit about, whatever. Let me not get on that. We're going to get to that. But right now, I need to have this conversation, and I hope y'all stick around for it. I hope you share this live. I hope that those of you who came in here to hear me sing, I'ma sing. Put some likes in the jukebox, and I'm gonna give y'all a melody, right? But in exchange for the melody, I'm gonna throw y'all. I need you to take in what I'm dropping down, right? And that is, our community is and has been for a very long time. And if you don't believe me, watch the Diddy documentary, right? Which I haven't watched yet because I'm just tired of the traumatainment. I'm tired, right? And at some point I'll watch it and I'll unpack it and we'll talk about it on the show, but not tonight. Tonight I want to talk about a very serious issue that has been impacting our community since at least the 1990s. So we're going to call it 31 years of a narrative, 31 years of a toxic, destructive algorithm. Oh, that they didn't want like that. I said it with my whole chest. And we know that the algorithm don't have feelings. And it just regurgitates what it is fed. But part of the issue that we have always been trying to navigate since C. Dolores Tucker. Oh, hold on. Yeah. I said it. I said it and I mean it. And I know there are so many people out here who have a difference of opinion as it relates to Madam C. Dolores Tucker. But the bottom line is this: we would not be in this situation that we are in today. Is this thing on? If we had listened to see Dolores Tucker. I have said it so many times over the years. I listened to all the records that they made about that lady, that queen. Wonder why they. I'm not even gonna go there, but y'all know what I'm talking about if you've been around long enough. Wonder why they call you bitch. And this was a woman who, like me at this point in my career and my life, like so many other people who finally get it. It took me a long time to get it because I was not meant to get it. None of us in our 20s, kids in this industry that made money off of our what? Trauma and talent. The two T's. And our desire to get out of the hood and provide for our families. Instagram, I'm gonna go off and come back because y'all get, there's nobody's watching. There's 200,000 people on there, and I got 200,000 people. I'm gonna say it one more time, and I'm doing this on purpose, right? Y'all are important, and I'm not disrespecting the fact that y'all are here and y'all are present, but I'm gonna make a point of this, and this will probably even further decrease my access in my algorithm, but I just have to say it because what we're talking about tonight is social media and the impact that it has and has had for years on our culture, and the fact that our culture has built it and it has let so many people down. We're going to get into that, but let's get back to see Dolores Tucker. Hey, y'all. Hey, business bully. You know what? Business bully. I got to tell you something. You know what? Hold on. Let me write this note. Y'all, hold on. What was I talking about? Okay. I'm going to get back to her real quick. Business bully. Let me say this real quick because I've been meaning to send you a message, but I've been super duper busy. Brother, I appreciate you. This is a brother who spoke. And then I'll answer the Pete. Let me get this out of the way because it's coming up. And since I'm addressing you, business bully, I'm going to address the comment or the question that came from, I think, D. I think you asked this question about, right. And I'm not ignoring you. I just haven't really been talking about P Valley at all. But since I'm about to address this with business bully, I'm gonna get this out of the way. We're gonna get into Epstein. We're gonna get into this young influencer that unalived herself live that nobody's talking about because nobody gives. Excuse me, let me act like I got some sense because I have on my Protect Black Women t-shirt from Higher Heights, just in case y'all want to know what we own tonight in real life. But business bully, let me say this. Business bully went on a podcast like several other people who have just been really awesome about lifting me in a time of like a lot of stuff going on with this trial, right? So I want to get a couple of things out of the way on that. And since we're ending the year, I feel like I can have this conversation without it feeling like a rant, right? I'm in a different place. So hold on, let me make this note. I'm trying to do the notes so I can stay more on task. Business bully, thank you so much for speaking up for me on the podcast episode. And I see that there was a collaboration real sent, and I like to keep it real and be 100%. I saw it, and the only reason why I did not is because there's some information, which you wouldn't have any idea, of knowing whether or not it was inaccurate, but there was some stuff in there that just, I didn't want to, number one, I didn't want to repost something that I'm ultimately trying to move away from and just, turn a corner. But also there were some things in there that I know, were just things that I know that other people don't. And I don't want to repost something that is not factual because I'm not trying to have no more smoke with these people about, supporting or endorsing misinformation. But I want to acknowledge this brother for speaking up in this podcast on my behalf because I know what the intention was. I know where it was coming from, and I really appreciate that. So thank you so much for speaking up for me. Thank you so much for riding with me and being in my corner. And the only reason why I could not repost or collaborate is because there's some information in there. And these people watching me still probably to this day. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is because I'm not a bubblehead. And then that's comes off a little, y'all know what I'm trying to say. So thank you. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. To the question about what happened with the whole P Valley thing. I never got a chance to go to court. I never got a chance to go to trial. Most people here already know that. And I want to say this because I said this to my husband today. And again, I don't wish anybody any ill will. I'm so I'm not past it because every day it stings. It's going to sting for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, I'm going to have to handle in an emotionally intelligent way the fact that I lost. I said I wasn't going to ever say I lost. That I was denied the opportunity to present my facts in my case in a court of law. And I want to say this because, people have this assumption. I was watching, I'm all over the place. I was watching an interview with Tory Lanez, which I'm going to get into later this week because I'm going to get a little bit more information about it. I'm not going too deep because I'm minding my business. But Tory said something that really stood out for me in this conversation. I believe it was with I don't know. Let me not get the line because I don't know. But what Tory said was that he does not hold any ill will towards Meg. And I thought that was just really big, and I believed it. And I think that he probably has a very clear reason why. You understand what I'm saying? And what it made me think of, my husband and I were looking at this thing, and Tory has really, honestly, I pray that he gets his justice, right? I pray to God that whatever he's trying to do, if he has new evidence and and we're not turning this into that. Like, you guys can take a clip and take it wherever the hell you want. This is every bit of 55. I don't give a flying frog leg about somebody's opinion of me who doesn't know me and doesn't understand my intentions and doesn't want to. Because what I've realized in this big age is that a lot of us don't even want to understand or see your side of it. But I'm going to say this because I believe it with my heart. I worked in close proximity with Tory Lanez, worked in the studio outside of the Say It situation. I did some co-writing with him on the album project, and I didn't get certain things. I just didn't get them. That doesn't mean they don't exist. That didn't mean it didn't happen. It's just that my experience was my experience, and we should be allowed, and I'm gonna get into this with the Michael Jackson Epstein thing, to be in rooms and spaces and not just and have an opinion and not be nailed to the cross because of it. But Tory seems to be more evolved. I think he seems to be somebody who has a clear sort of picture of who he needs to be going forward in order to be successful and continue to function in society in a good way. His life is far from over. I think just like in my case with the people and this Supreme Court thing, God brings you to your knees to make you pay attention. Sometimes God's or life's rejection, it's not my quote, I read it somewhere, is God's protection. I believe that with my whole heart. And I think that whatever he has gone through in this phase in his life that has brought him to his knees and put him in that place, who knows, could have saved his life. That could have been his guardian angels looking out for him. And we think all along that it's the powers that be controlling something. He could have been going down a path where he could not come back from. So I hope and pray. And the whole point of where he is in locked up is supposed to be to become rehabilitated, to see this is what life is if you make bad decisions. And it seems like he's learning from whatever experiences he's having in his life. I can't even imagine, the knifing incident. That was terrible. I can't imagine how could that not change your perspective on things. So I just want to say to Brother Tory Lanez, this was not even about him, but I just want to give him a big round of applause because I feel like he's learned a lot and he's evolving and he's growing. And you can disagree with me if you want to. This is America. At least for now, we can disagree about some shit. But I'm just very proud of him. But let me get back to the C. Dolores Tucker. Oh, okay. No, let me make another point. All over the fucking place. I want to say this because the reason I started talking about Tory is because I understand the concept of hey, I forgive this person that has me, or many would say has me in a situation. And I have perspective on it. And my perspective on the P Valley thing, there are two things. Thing number one, what I am pursuing in my life and career going forward would absolutely, positively not be happening had I not been brought all the way to my knees and still trying to figure out a way up from them. If what happened with P Valley did not happen, I just would not, it just would not be happening. What is happening now would not be happening because my perspective changed on a lot. And what I am doing now, while it may not be all shiny and flossy and glossy and might look a little struggle bus today, what I am doing now for the future, for future generations, for future creatives, and hopefully what it becomes and inspires in future creatives, more important than anything, the quest for ownership, the quest for the ability to change the narrative and do it from a culturally competent lens. That is the problem. We have so many people telling our stories. We have so many people defining who we are as a culture that we have no idea who we are, because we have been fed a bill of goods since at least the 1990s. And I'm not making this shit up because there's a whole documentary with billions of views on Netflix today about things that happened during that time frame I'm talking about. And it's crazy to me that we're having all of these conversations about Diddy and Pac and Suge and them. And never once in mainstream media have I heard the mother flipping name, C. Dolores Tucker. We got 569 gazillion YouTube channels talking about who killed Pac, who did big, who did, but nobody's talking about the woman, the Black woman, who was left unprotected, who flat out told us this shit was going to happen 30 something years ago. She said, please hit like, please share the video. And when y'all are done watching me on your comfortable spaces, go over to WIRF.TV YouTube and Divine 9 TV YouTube and please subscribe. Please and thank you. I'm talking to y'all on TikTok, on LinkedIn and Twitter. I mean X too. But please hit like. But this woman, Dolores Tucker, this phenomenal, incredible sister who was brave enough to speak out in a world where people, called her bitch just because she was trying to help her community, who painted her out to be someone who was out of touch, and she said it the wrong way. She hurt their feelings. Listen, would you rather a matriarch in our community who cares about our community, who has a proven track record of doing things to help empower and lift our community, would you rather have someone like that tell you at a young age you're going down the wrong path, warning, danger, Will Robinson, and prevent you from crashing into a brick wall, or crash out like so many who she was talking about and warning they would crash out have done over the years? I'm saying, at what point do we as a community stop dancing all up in the videos, dancing? When does that stop? When do we get to a point where we realize that, as fantastic as it is to be seen all up in the videos dancing, that the roof is on fire and we need some water. We can't let this motherfucker burn. No, we don't want it to burn, because guess what? We have been able to build wealth and community and positive things based on media, based on storytelling, based on songs. But what's been happening in our community is we have been singing the wrong songs. Some of us, because clearly some of us singing the right songs, because that rendition of If You Love Me, which I'm going to play for y'all if y'all ain't heard it, is just proof positive that good songs last a lifetime. However, we have been singing and dancing to the wrong shit. We have been repeating these negative, toxic, destructive mantras in our heads over and over and over and over again. And now what has happened is our kids, the same thing that see Dolores Tucker, right? Now, I'm going to try to find my see Dolores Tucker clip so I can play it for y'all asses before this night is out. But she told us that this was going to destroy our communities. And none of these major media platforms have given her the light of day. I'm talking about C. Dolores Tucker. I have 200,000 followers on Instagram, and 2 of them are watching this video right now. And I'm thankful for the 160 other people watching, or 180 if you add these other people. But there are 2 on the largest platform that I have. 2 out of 200,000 people. There are 2 people on Instagram, because I'm not dancing. I don't have on a outfit that I pay too much money for, or a bag that could feed a whole neighborhood full of kids. And I'm not shaming people who have resources and wealth. I'm not shaming when I say that. I'm just saying we are conditioned to believe that we measure our worth and our value on those accessories. And those are just that, accessories. And it's disgusting that our community doesn't understand the value of having conversations about the things that will help empower us and grow generational wealth and wellness. I was never supposed to know all of these things. I was never supposed to be anything other than with a mic in my hand and on a stage singing songs, entertaining people. That's just what, that's the reason I got the hall pass. But thank God I was signed to Michael Jackson's label. Thank God being signed to Michael Jackson's label gave me the opportunity. I'm sorry, I done pissed Instagram off. Now it's one person on there. Thank God I was given the opportunity through MJ to write my music, to write my songs, to develop my group, to create the branding and the imaging that is Brownstone. I'm so proud of the fact that we did not have to compromise ourselves physically, in terms of our lyrics, in terms of how we performed and how we showed up on stage. Thank God we did not have to do that. But what happened was so many people in the 90s embraced, especially rappers and hip hop, which is what C. Dolores Tucker's issue was all about. So many of them embraced that. And when it started to make lots and lots of money, do I think that, I posted on one of the pages, this video I'm about to show you guys, my response on one of the pages was that there was an agenda. And absolutely there is an agenda. And the agenda is to just make money. And if traumatainment is the way that we do it, and monetizing people's pain and communities never growing, because in 30 years, we still have not been able to change our community. And the reason I say in 30 years is because over the last 30 years, think about how much Black wealth has been created. Think about how much Black wealth has been built. Oprah, Tyler, Diddy, Byron Allen, all of these people, these billionaires. And this has happened over the last 30 years. How has that not trickled down into our community in a way that is more impactful than just, oh, we love them because they've made all this money? Now, listen, I don't really have no friends in the industry. And not because people don't want to be my friend, because it's quite the opposite. Just because I don't use the word as freely and loosely as so many people in this industry use it. If you my friend, then I just don't use the word, right? In this particular industry, because I understand that this industry is made up of smoke and mirrors. I know that fame is a vapor, money has wings, popularity is an accident, and the only thing that matters is character. And based on what we have seen over and over and over and over again in Black entertainment in particular, the character measure is so low that it's amazing to me that they could fit as many people in this town who fit into the lack of character category into that motherfucker. Because it's just such a small, dark, slivery slimy hole. And maybe that is the reason. I mean, obviously in the grand scheme of things, the entire place is full of it. So I guess the smaller fraction of folks are people who do have character. But my point is just that whole idea that you cannot be a decent human being, that whole concept that Black women, like C. Dolores Tucker, Black women who have consistently tried to lead our community, that Harriet Tubman, hello? The Black women who didn't get the credit that their husbands got in the civil rights movement. The Black women who carry our communities on their back do not have a opportunity to tell stories and provide media and provide information that helps improve the quality of life in our communities. There's always a gatekeeper who does not want Black women to have the power to change and positively impact our communities. And there is always a community of people that are used as tools of the incompetent to see to it that it doesn't happen. I experience it over and over and over again. These apps that are owned by people who do not look like us, who do not allow messages like the one that I am sharing with you to get out into the community and have some positive impact on our babies, that we keep feeding and growing and making richer and making more powerful, they're going to be the reason. Never mind. Let me play this clip. Let me let this, I've been rambling, but we're going to get into the apps. We're going to get into the fact that a young Black woman of color took her own LIFE. Allegedly live. I didn't watch it because I don't want to see it. But the fact that nobody is talking about this shit blows my mind. But we're going to talk about the content, because the content, being what it is, has a lot to do with why our young women feel that way. And if you do not believe it, coming from my 55-year-old ass, then take a listen to this and tell me what you think.
As a Black person, I can't turn on the TV and find not one single show that portrays my community in a positive light. We used to have Martin, we had Living Single, we had Sister, we had all that. We had a different world where Black people was at college. We could see that on the Cosby Show, this Black man is a doctor, so I can go be a doctor if I want to. Carl Winslow was a police officer. I could go be a police officer if I want to. We don't have not a single show that portrays us in a positive light. The whole Power Book series is so good. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a very good series. It's very interesting. The storyline is great. But in all of them, we drug dealers and murderers. It ain't a single show. A little Black girl can't turn on the TV and see a mama and a daddy in a household thriving. It's either us doing something that's bad, or
Okay, video cut off from the mouths of babes. Why can't I turn on the TV and see a positive image? Because gatekeepers, since C. Dolores Tucker took it all the way to the Hill, have been working to prevent that from happening. Because they understand the power of the media. They understand the power of this right here if enough people pay attention to it. They understand, and we don't. We just want to be all up in the videos dancing. And we build the platforms. But we want to be all up in the videos dancing or getting paid to dance. We want to be able to tell our girl, I just got me a job making $400,000 a year, bitch. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. This job, honey, listen, I got the right to, they told me I could hire whoever I want. They told me I could go on ahead and get a little kickback from the people, my friends that I put on this shit. That is, right? I mean, thank God for diversity, equity, and inclusion, girl. Now that's gone. And your $400,000 a year job is gone. and the people that you were told to stay away from because they were critical thinkers. Because they understood, hey sis, why you got this opportunity? How about me and you do something really dope for the community? The community doesn't really sell right now. We want Black women destroying each other in the press and in the media. We want Black women with multi-million dollar businesses and brands to feel like they need to go on reality shows and build a more mainstream audience. Meanwhile, the Oscars is coming to YouTube. I said, we are super hyper focused on being on the mainstream networks. You know, the Oscars, the Emmys, the Housewives and things. But they're coming to YouTube. I mean, I'm just saying. When are we going to understand the value of what we contribute as viewers and as consumers? Because it's a shame that Black families can't come on these shows and still remain intact. It's a shame that the only time you see a Black man on a reality TV show is when he's being, I almost said set up because that's how I feel, but we don't know that for a fact. But why is it that all of them husbands always end up in really terrible situations on these shows? Why can't we see real images, like the young lady said, of Black families together, grinding it out? Why can't we see positive images? Why can't our children, like the young lady just said, have more positive images of our community? You know, it's interesting. We look at this Rob Reiner situation. We look at the situation, and I'm just as guilty, because guess what? I don't know the brother's name either. But I only found out that there was a Grammy award-winning opera singer. And I'm not going to disrespect this man. Let me see something. Hold on. We might as well, at this point, we might as well just stop sugarcoating the shit. Because I just don't think we live in a world where sugarcoating. It's interesting. I was having a conversation. I'm pulling this picture up. I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends, and and she was like, I was having a very mature conversation with my grandson, and she's like, "Ooh, girl," she was like, "You don't be, ain't no baby talk," and I'm like, "No, it's no baby talk," because at the end of the day, we don't live in a world where it's safe for your kids just not to know the realities about, crazy people. And by crazy people, I don't mean people, well, I guess people who do stuff like that are suffering from some sort of mental illness. But when I say crazy people, I specifically mean people who are doing horrible things to kids, right? We had this whole conversation about just make sure your head is on the swivel. When you're at the bus, when you're at school, when you're, it's people everywhere. You know what I mean? You have to just really use and I encourage all of us to have those conversations, because we live in a real world where real shit happens, and the sugarcoating is just not Santa Claus, that's your, I almost said something. But if a kid is watching this, they deserve to know Santa Claus is your mama. Or your daddy, or your grandma, or somebody. And if you found this out, it's because you don't have an adult in your life telling you should not be watching Nights with NICCI, because she cuss and she loud and she's, gonna say some things you probably shouldn't want to hear. Like Santa Claus is your mama. And I think we got to stop, sugarcoating shit with our kids, because we live in a crazy world these days. So let me say this real quick. This is what I mean when I say, the African American community, which, we are, if there is trillions of dollars in buying power, we're half of it, right? We just are. And at the end of the day, we don't understand the power unless somebody says, let's do a Target boycott, and we see we see what happens there. But in the media, which is the all powerful, we are used as tools to destroy one another. And that is the reason why when something like what I'm about to share with you now happens, no one hears about it, because there's no demand for us to have the same attention put on our stories and our trials as there is for other communities. So I talked about Rob Reiner, and I'm very sad to hear about what happened with Rob Reiner and the issue of mental wellness or lack thereof in families and communities is a very serious issue, and I believe everyone is suffering from it. I believe it is the one thing that does not care what color you are, what economic background you come from. I believe that we all have or know somebody or closely related to someone who's suffering from mental health issues. So I don't understand why it's so difficult for people to get the help that they need, because it is something that is epidemic in this country right now. And mental health issues and challenges come in many forms. Not all of them are as serious as the ones we're going to talk about. But even if it's you gaining weight, even if it's you not performing at work, even if you're screaming at your kids and saying shit to them that they're never going to forget. Because my mama done said some shit to me back in the day that I'm like, God, I remember that time my mother said that really hurt my feelings. And you're young. People think, oh, you're a kid, you'll get over it. No. Just like I don't believe in whooping kids. I just don't. I think that's some shit people do because they lose control and they feel like it. Now sometimes you need to be, okay? Like if you're young enough, little toddlers, this right here and whipping that, whatever. But at a certain point when a kid can comprehend what you're saying, it's just a matter of you figuring out a way to communicate your message that doesn't require violence and pain. And that's from we didn't like getting whipped as slaves, so we shouldn't be whipping our kids with extension cords and switches and shit. That's something that is ingrained in our psyche because of what we had to endure. Please hit the like button. I just think that whooping kids, shit, you spare the rod, spoil the child. Again, that old Negro spiritual shit is not, I'm sorry, no disrespect, but I'm not buying it anymore. I just don't think it's necessary. But let me get to the point of the man that I have the photo of. And if you're watching me on Instagram, one of the two people, or on TikTok, unfortunately, TikTok, I actually could have put it in the feed. I'm gonna do better about making sure that I put it in my background on TikTok, but your girl is a little busy. So this is Jubilant Sykes, right? He is a Grammy-nominated opera singer and gospel singer, and he has died at the age of 71 after being stabbed in his home in California by his 31-year-old son, Micah, who was arrested and allegedly arrested in on suspicion of his M word. They found him inside with critical wounds. They arrived and pronounced him DEAD on the scene. Sykes' son, Michael, was at the home and taken into custody without incident. It says the circumstances, and this is courtesy of The Guardian, it says the circumstances surrounding the incident remain under investigation. The suspect will be booked for homicide, and the case will be presented to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for further consideration. So here's a guy who's won Grammys and he has won, awards, and he is handsome, older Black man, 71 years old, whose son allegedly has created a horrible crime, but we have not really heard about it in mainstream the way we've heard about what happened with Rob Reiner. I get it. Rob Reiner was more popular, but where in our community is there a space or a place for us to find out this kind of information for people in our community who are suffering and can maybe benefit from knowing, having a conversation about it, being able to identify some of the triggers, being able to, you know what I mean? Like, why is it not as important or relevant when people of color are experiencing almost identical traumas, right, of others, and there is no reference to it? But yet we are number one consumers of media and content. Where they do that at? Why is it like that? Who is the blame? Is there a blame? Or is it just, oh, well, too bad. Okay, we're moving right along. I'm just confused. Because here it is in the same week. The same thing that happened to Rob Reiner, and it's all over the place, also happened to a Grammy Award winning gospel artist and opera singer. And 5 people know about it, like the 3 people on my Instagram. And then when you look at who's buying, I don't want no problems with TikTok, but feeling froggish. You know what I'm saying? Like, do they care? Does it matter? Do they know who we are? Back to what the young lady said in the earlier clip. Do these people have any idea who we as a community are? Let me give some love to TikTok. Let me give some love to the 200 people watching me on Twitter right now, because I don't know what y'all doing over there on Instagram. I just don't know, because I got 200,000 followers over there. That's why I keep digressing, going over here talking about this Instagram thing, because I have 200,000 followers on Instagram. And the 10% of the people that you were supposed to have are watching me on TikTok right now. Not TikTok, Twitter, X. Go figure. Same thing I'm talking about here today. When you are having conversations about issues in our community that will either help us or inform us on how to get the help that we need, you never get the shot in the algorithm. And that is why I created Divine 9 TV. We're going to take a minute and do this commercial break. This has not been one big commercial for Divine 9 TV intentionally, but turns out we need it more than we thought we did. Take a listen.
The timing is divine for real talent to shine, real stories to be told. Watch it all unfold. It's time to set the stage for greatness to be made. Time to prove that we can uplift and entertain. Shows that make you laugh and some that make you cry. News and information to help you find out why. Music, food, and fashion fills who you shows with divine inspiration. Honoraries in my HBCU. We got R&B divas, we got R&B kings, R&B live performers in a film called Broken Things. She speaks live, divas and cocktails, the brand new musical drama. It Girls Diary of a Diva is coming back all new. A short film, social conflict, producing curtains too. From the bottom up, Kool-Aid Central, social conflict and D9 News. Yeah. Subscribe and you'll see the power of Divine 9 TV. How it helps community rise up and shine. Owned by the culture, led by the divine. Let's rise up and shine on with Divine 9 TV.com. Owned by the culture, led by divine. Let's rise up and shine on with divine. Oh, da, 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 da.
Thank you, beautiful. Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm sorry. My audio was off. I was just saying to Jubilant, I'm hopeful that his family, Jubilant Sykes, whose family experienced the same similar situation to Rob Reiner. I hope that they find peace. I hope they find peace, and I hope you guys give grace, because that is what I really want to talk to y'all about on this show tonight. But let's do another promo. I've gotten a lot of compliments on my lip color tonight, and it is the Lip Bar. Boom, it is the Lip Bar. This is a Black woman-owned brand. She happens to be from Detroit. Look, the only thing Instagram good for is being a mirror for me to put my lip on. Run tell that. Detroit-based owner of an amazing, what is this color? It's called I can't see, honey, I can't see sugar, honey, iced tea. Boy Trouble. It's called Boy Trouble. Boy Trouble. Lip Bar. And I have another commercial I'm going to share with you guys right before we get out of here. I'm so excited about it. Oh my God. And if you are and you know, we're equal opportunity promoter here, but I have an affection for Black woman-owned businesses. And if you are, in fact, a Black woman-owned business and you have products that you would like for me to mention on our show, please DM me and I will look into it, because I think that now is the time for us to support each other and help build each other's businesses in real life and not just, hitting like on the little heart or whatever. But we're going to talk real quick about this incredible soul that, as far as I'm concerned, is gone way too soon. You guys, I really, really hate to say this. This is a terrible situation. I'm praying for her family as well, and I'm ashamed of the fact that more people don't know about this story. This is a very difficult and a very important conversation. In recent days, the online world has been mourning the loss of a lot of really well-known creators. And their passing has reopened conversation specifically for me, because we do a lot of content connected to mental health and wellness, on the pressures of being online, the impact of bullying in digital spaces. And, it's at the end of the day, I think we forget that behind every profile, every microphone, rambling off on some shit because maybe they had a bad day, is in fact a human being, right? And I just want to take a minute to reflect on, some of these young, promising careers that unfortunately were cut super short because of, in some instances, online bullying. And again, I tread lightly on that, saying that this is about online bullying, because while I'm not a mental health professional, let me disclaimer, I have zero knowledge on how to do anything but figure out how to cope with grief. And I've talked to a lot of people who are professionals, and I've gotten information, and everybody has a different approach to this, right? So you have to kind of go with what works for you. But I would recommend, if you find yourself struggling with mental health, I would recommend that you go and find someone to talk to. I'll make sure that I attach in the subject of this, what is the description? I will make sure that I put a number for you to call. Also, if you are suffering and you want to talk to somebody right away, my good friend Shanti Das, that's Shanti Das, Das, Shanti Das, has an organization called Silence the Shame. And she, I know for sure, is somebody that I trust to refer people to for that kind of help in the event that they need it. So make sure you guys follow Silence the Shame. And even if you're not suffering yourself personally, it would be really fantastic if you would support her organization and, give what you can. I know this is the holiday season and stuff is tight for a lot of people, but, this story I'm about to share with you guys that wasn't shared in mainstream media. And part of the reason we established Divine 9 TV as a platform is so that stories that matter, that can help deter or refer or inspire people to do something other than what so many of these young creators and young people are doing because of the pressures on the internet. We created it so that we could just come together and collectively figure out how to amplify positivity and resources and good things in our community in a space that is super powerful and super influential. And also is, a good financial model as we start to, pitch our investors and whatnot. But anyway, this is a sad story. And this is all alleged. I wasn't there. I do not know, but it is in certain corners of the internet. Last night, and this was 6 days ago when this article was written, credit to Still Tammy on Instagram. Last night, popular TikTok live creator Rizzy died by unalived herself. It's silly that I got to say this unalive thing, but I will respect the algorithm. Unalived herself by doing it herself during a live. It's ridiculous, and it just feels like I'm dishonoring this woman, but okay. Unalived herself during a live, which is crazy, after being relentlessly bullied. What makes it even harder to process is that people were in the comments telling her to do it. I'm gonna read it again. What makes this harder is that people were in the comments telling her to do it, and she had already been in a mental health facility. This is not entertainment. This is not tea. This is real life. Check on your people, especially during this time of year. Holidays don't feel joyful for everybody. I'm her. I'm everybody. Some folks are smiling online and silently drowning offline. Words matter. Comments matter. Silence matters. If you love somebody, say it. If they cross your mind, reach out to them. I've done it a few times here recently. Like, I was just thinking about you. You've been on my mind. Want to reach out to you. And if you're struggling and having a hard time, please know it's not about you being weak. Sometimes it could be clinical. Sometimes it could be situational. There are a whole bunch of things here. If you go back and look at Shanti Daz's page, Silence the Shame, you'll see all sorts of information and resources. And also you can text 988. And there is a suicide and crisis hotline that is available 24/7. And if you're outside of the United States, you can go to findahelpline.com, findahelpline.com. So we are encouraging everyone to be mindful, to be kind, to check on your family and your friends, especially them strong ones, allegedly, because we are indeed losing too many people to the silence and the cruelty that happens on the internet. I am so sad to hear that this young woman, I don't know how old she was. I'm going to still continue to do my research, but it's really sad to hear that she just felt so overwhelmed with life that she felt the need, to end her own. But the fact that we can't have these conversations in a public forum without being shadow banned because we're not dancing in the videos, it's sad. And the fact that there are very few outlets available for women of color, women and girls of color in particular. You guys, if you've been here long enough watching this live, you know that the young woman who spoke again about why we don't see positive images, why we can't see something more positive out here, that is a cry for help. That is a cry for all of these people who have made hundreds of millions of dollars off of the backs of Black entertainment, off of our stories, off of our gifts, off of our talents, to act like you give a fuck. To act like it matters that your kids' college educations have been paid for largely due to the fact that you've been able to monetize the trauma in our communities. And if it wasn't you and your kids' college being paid for, I'm not talking to you, but there's some people out there, and you know who you are, who have benefited from the community in so many ways. And now we see it falling apart at the seams. Our community, our kids are suffering. We have been fed this idea that the more followers and the more likes you have, the more popular you are, the more people like you. Then people don't like you, and them ain't your little friends. How your mama say it? Your little friends. We got hundreds of millions of little friends who don't give a shit about what is really going on in your real life. I thank God that I had real people who really cared about me and loved me and looked out for me and checked in on me when I was going through hell. If only to say, keep going. If only to say, don't quit. If only to say, you got this. And even some of y'all who don't know me in social media, who rode with me and who had positive, good things to say to me. But I'm known as the person in this industry who spends a lot of time in the mud because I'm not taking or acquiescing to the bullshit. I don't mean harm to anybody. I don't want to not see people succeed. I have built a career on creating actions speak louder than words. I got the receipts. I have built a career based on helping other people amplify their messages and their stories. I'm looking at a comment right now. Why is R&B Divas not on any platforms? Only one full episode on your channel. Yeah, I'm going to put another couple episodes up for you guys who are fans of R&B Divas. But the reality of R&B Divas is real simple. And since we're on the subject of things that I've created that have helped others, right? Who wouldn't spit on me if I was on fire, which I'm confused about. But here we go. Not even that. I just learned that relationships in the entertainment industry, which is why I don't say I have friends in this month, okay, are transactional. As long as you are providing a service, an opportunity, some shit for them to make some money off of, you're good. But the minute your ass tell the truth about how you feel, or the minute that you are, please hit like, the minute that you are lay on the sword for the benefit of the greater good, and someone convinces your counterparts that if they ride with you, then they're riding off into the sunset far, far away from the check that they have convinced them that they gave them, when in fact the check didn't come without the idea and the series creator who was, kicked to the curb. But I don't regret that either. I don't regret R&B Divas being taken away from me. I mean, I own the IP now, proudly. Divine Order, thank God. And we are doing a new season. And to answer your question, it will be coming to Divine 9 TV. Absolutely. R&B Divas franchise will be coming to Divine 9 TV. Now, who will be coming with it? You'll be learning soon. At least the first round. But yeah, we're not waiting for permission anymore. I was being polite and giving people time to, come around and get out their feelings. See, I don't be in my feelings because ain't no money in there. I mean, your money ain't got no feelings at all. It's the most insensitive shit in the world. Doesn't care about you or your friends. It just is. So I don't really be in my feelings much in this industry because what happens in this business is not a real place. It is not a real place, and not enough of us have accepted that. Now, see, Dolores Tucker tried to make it a real place in the 90s, but, they called her a bitch and gave a parental advisory sticker and told her to keep it moving. If you guys want to see the real show, you can watch me on WRF.TV YouTube channel, and you can get the real shit. But anyway, and the other thing is I want to apologize in advance for anybody who may be offended by profanity. I heard that people who cuss are smarter. That was so wrong for me to say that. And it was really quite dumb. See, that proves that shit ain't even the truth. Because if I was smarter, I just wouldn't have said that. So yeah, blows a hole in the hole. People who cuss are smarter. I just need to lean into the fact that I just like to cuss periodically. I feel like it helps me get the point across a little more Detroit. Okay. I want to talk about this Epstein thing. I do. But before I get into the Epstein-Michael Jackson situation, I'm going to honor Michael Jackson. I'm going to reset the room. I'm going to step away from all the heavy talk that has no levity. I'm going to give you guys some fluff. And boy, when I say fluff, this is some fluff. This is just fantastic. This is amazing. And I hope y'all enjoy this as much as I enjoyed it when somebody sent it to me. And yeah, let me just stop talking and let y'all hear this.
If you love me, if you trust me, if you want me, if you need me, 'cause actions speak louder than words, and I just don't say things that I've already heard. 'Cause actions speak louder than words, and I just don't say things that I've already heard. If you love me, if you trust me, if you want me, if you need me, if you love me.
Woo! Baby. Oh, Jesus. Jesus on the main line. Tell them what you want. Wowzers. Wow. Fantastic. I'm sorry. They are just chef's kiss. Awesome job. Incredible rendition of the song. And just makes me grateful, to be a part of writing such a record that has gone on to live. Can you guys hear me okay? Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me okay? I see some people saying I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Hold on. Can you guys hear me okay? I think that was when my husband came in. I hope those messages are old. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm just really grateful to have been a part of that. And I'm really happy that, a song that is so important. If you love me, say it, do it, show it, prove it. Right? Actions speak louder than words. Has gone on to just have such a life. And thank you to Future, and thank you to Tory Lanez, and thank you to Toby, and thank you to David Michael, and all the whole choir, and all the singers and all the people. I even found out that Ed Sheeran did a version of our song, which I gotta look into that. But I'm just really grateful to have been a part of that. Let me get into this Michael Jackson thing. This is going to be short. I had y'all hang out and I had y'all wait all this time because I'm going to go bigger. I'm going to go much bigger on this Jeffrey Epstein thing tomorrow. And I did not have a whole lot of time to research it at all. But this is what I can tell you without a doubt. What I find really interesting is that the Epstein files are redacted, right? Well, I don't find it interesting. I find it honestly kind of like I had an expectation of it, right? And I have absolutely zero expectation for anything serious happening as a result of these things being released. Hold on, y'all. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I'm trying to... You know what? Actually, I'm not going to... I'm not going to show that picture because I just don't want it floating around on my... I honor Michael Jackson too much to have a picture of him with someone who is, accused of doing such horrible things. So I'm not even going to put that picture up. I was looking to find a picture to put it up. But here's my 2 cents on this whole Michael Jackson thing. Leave Michael Jackson alone and leave Michael Jackson and Diana Ross out of this bullshit. I am... Oh, Kiki reposted the stream. Thank you, Kiki. Thank you, sister. Oh, that's the reason why I have people on here. Thank you, Kiki. I love my sister. Thank you so much. But this is my perspective on this Michael Jackson thing and the Epstein files. Why would you guys post a picture of Michael Jackson and Diana Ross in just a one-off ass picture with Jeffrey Epstein and not post the real pictures of all the real shit and all the terrible situations? Why is it, once again, back to mainstream fucking media? It infuriates me that in order to pay no attention to the little man behind the curtain, this is the most Wizard of Oz shit ever. This is the most Wizard of Oz shit ever. Why are we not paying attention to the little man behind the curtain and instead making a story out of a photograph of Michael Jackson, who allegedly was only talking to this man about a real estate opportunity and probably had no idea about his indiscretions, if that's what we're going to call them, because you want the story to be, ooh, did y'all see MJ in the picture? I done been in pictures with Tupac. I've been in a lot of photos here in this world with people that I don't really I mean, I was cool enough with Pac, okay? But like, were we friends? Was we hanging all the time? Was I at the parties? Absolutely not. So to take a photograph of Michael Jackson and Diana Ross and of all the other pictures, of all the other photos that we could be showing, of all the other evidence that we could be exposing, the thing that we show is a picture that's so random with absolutely no real uh issues outside of the fact that, hey, take this picture with such and such. Oh, hey, do you know how many times? That's like believing that because somebody takes a picture in close proximity to a celebrity that they cool. Do you know how many times people come up and they say, hey, can I get this picture? Sure. Hey, them. And you walk away and there's nothing beyond that. But because it is Michael Jackson and it is Jeffrey Epstein and allegedly everything else has been redacted, we have turned this into some form of, ooh, did y'all see those? Black people don't go for it. All people don't go for it. Don't go for it. Pay no attention to the little man behind the curtain. It is a distraction. I don't believe that this Jeffrey Epstein thing is going to turn out to be anything other than mainstream media having viewers and folks, watching and tuning in and logging in and getting advertising dollars. I don't think that anybody really cares that much. And it's not because they shouldn't. It is because I just don't believe that they do. I don't believe that the legal system is I don't believe in it anymore. I don't believe in it anymore. None of it. Because I have seen so many Black men end up losing their livelihoods, some their lives, definitely their reputations, based on lesser offenses. I'm still wondering what happened with the I'm a crime guy that got arrested around the same time that Diddy did. Oh, nothing. Because we don't get in trouble like y'all. Our deeds may be just as bad, more egregious, worse, but we ain't y'all. And I think that's a we ain't y'all situation as it relates to Black men. And I think it is a we ain't y'all situation as it relates to all women. I thought for a minute, maybe it's just because these are non-Black women involved. Like maybe this thing will become bigger. Like maybe people will really care. Like maybe people will actually, but I just don't believe it. And I could be wrong. And I've never wanted to be proven more wrong ever. But when you talk about this shit, the algorithm shuts you the fuck down. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's late. So let's just be relaxed and real with it. It is impossible to believe in a system that has over and over and over and over and over again told you that you don't matter because of your economic status and the color of your skin. And no, we know the system didn't actually say, hey, Miss Gilbert, you don't matter because you're a black woman. Or hey, R. Kelly, you don't matter because you're a black man. But the reality is the reality is the reality. The punishment for people of color is far greater and far worse. And because there are a lot of people who don't look like us implicated in this alleged Epstein stuff, you're never going to see it. You're not going to see. Listen, baby, I had a whole redactions. Hey, that's how it goes. That's what happens. So earlier when I was saying I can't be really beefed out with Lionsgate anymore, it's not because I don't feel like, wow, this really changed my life in a very negative way. It's just because, Lionsgate isn't the court that didn't give me the opportunity to protect myself from my IP. The court didn't give me the opportunity to do it. And Lionsgate doesn't run the court, right? It's going to be the same situation with this Epstein thing. And when power doesn't look like us and wealth doesn't look like us and the ability to just do whatever they want to do doesn't look like us, what do? Do we keep going up against Goliath with 5 smooth stones, or do we figure out how to put that energy into educating and informing and protecting our community through education and information and truth and authenticity? Complaining about how unfair this country has been since the beginning is passe as far as I'm concerned. I'm not doing it no more. I'm just not. I'm not going to keep complaining about why people can do horrible shit to young women and not be held accountable for it. I'm not going to keep complaining about why you can have all the proof and evidence that would help, anybody who's willing to actually hear it determine that you deserve an opportunity to protect yourself and your IP. I'm not doing that anymore. What I am focused on, and what I hope you are focused on, and what I hope we all learn from this, is creating a platform and an opportunity and a space for us to be able to build our own generational wellness, our own generational wealth, leverage our gifts and our talents in the shit that, really matters in our community with one another, and just get back to building together, us, unified, community, unity, and put that buying power and that power to entertain and that power to uplift and inspire and motivate back into our community, back into the hands of our people, because nothing else matters. The court system is not going to do it for us. And most of us don't have the financial, resources to really make that much of a change in other areas and in other spaces. And that's not doom and gloom. It's just, let's deal in reality, y'all. Let's build. Let's connect. Let's grow together. That is why we created Divine 9 TV. I'm going to play this commercial because I believe in supporting Black woman-owned businesses. And no, they didn't pay me for this. And they don't have to, because it's a good product. I bought it to support them. And I'm sharing it with all of you because I think you can benefit from it. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to share something else with y'all, and I'm going to let y'all asses go. What's up, beautiful people? Happy Friday. So, got some goodies. These are Black Girl vitamins. And I've been seeing this all over the place, right? And I was like, I wonder. And then when we did our blackout or economic boycott of anything that was not Black owned, I ordered these because I needed vitamins. I literally ran out and I was like, nope, I'm not going to order on my usual place that I order. I'm not going to go to the vitamin shop. I'm not going to go to all these places. Let me find some place where I can get vitamins. That is a Black owned vitamin company. And I came across, I've seen it a lot, but Black Girl Vitamins. So I'm just going to run y'all through the bag real quick. It comes in this cute little pouch. Of course, it came wrapped safely in plastic, but it came in this cute little pouch so you can keep them away from your husband and your kids and stuff. So everybody knows these are your vitamins. But I got the vitamin B12. I got the iron for the iron girlies. I got the, what is this? The sea moss. This is my first time trying the sea moss. And I know that Charmaine Bay and her husband have a sea moss company, so I want to order from them as well. But this was a part of the bundle, so I ordered that. And I ordered magnesium. And I ordered probiotics. Get yourself probiotics if you don't have them. And I have, what is this? The cholesterol control. Yes, indeedy. And then finally, we got the D3. A D vitamin is super duper important. So also, they're in my cabinet now, but it included some collagen, which I'm really excited to try as well. So I don't know if you heard about Black Girl Vitamins, honey, but I think you need to get you some. Take me through there. Take me through there. I'm excited to support a Black woman-owned business. And I love the fact that they support Black women's health equity, which is humongous for your girl. So yeah, we're on this health and fitness journey, and Black Girl Vitamins is now a part of my routine. Order some Black Girl Vitamins. And wait, let me just say this. This was not a commercial. I paid for these, but holla at your girl if you want to talk some more. All right, peace. And what I mean when I say holler at your girl if you want to talk some more is, yes, Black Girl Vitamins, the creators of Black Girl Vitamins. I promoted it because I'm geeked up about it. I'm on a health and wellness mission. I'm taking all the vitamins that I need to take. And I would love to interview you guys. I'd love to interview you on Diary of a Diva. Yes, guys, Diary of a Diva is coming back. And it's not just going to be about the music divas and the singing divas, comedy divas, business divas, health and wellness divas. We are going to open this mug up to all sorts of fabulous, amazing women. Yes, we have an all new season of R&B Divas coming. I cannot wait to share what is happening there. So I would love Black Girl Vitamins. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with you guys and talk all about the company and how you built it and what it means and what the future holds and all of those wonderful, amazing things. And if you want to support Nights with NICCI, I mean, we cuss, so I hope that's okay. We keep it real. Please holla at your girl. I would absolutely love that. You guys, Divine 9 TV, a lot of people have been asking me about what it is and trying to figure out kind of what it means and what it represents. And it's really simple. Divine 9 TV is a platform that was created with members of the Divine 9 organizations in mind. What I found, I'm a member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, and honorary, and I'm so honored to be a part of this organization. And what I have found is the relationships that I have built with my sisters in Divine 9 sorority, the community that we have created, the fact that a lot of the projects, like many of you don't know, but like From the Bottom Up was the showrunner for From the Bottom Up was James Dubose, who's a member of Omega Sci-Fi. The lead character, one of the lead characters, several of the lead characters, I'm sorry, four, in It Girls are all members of Divine 9. One of my co-writers is a member of Divine 9. So, even in R&B Divas, Selena's a Zeta, Angie's a Zeta, Chrisette Michelle, I believe now is a Zeta. I'm SG Rowe. Marsha Ambrosius wasn't in R&B Divas, but my point is just, when I think about the work that I've been a part of and the people that I've had the pleasure of working with, a lot of those people are members of Divine 9 fraternities and sororities. And we have a very, a wonderful mission collectively I'm talking as though you know what it is. So there are 9 organizations, fraternities and sororities. And we, I don't know if it's official or unofficial, right? I have to find that out. I should do the research. But you'll see like Divine 9 paraphernalia. You'll see Divine 9. I think somebody has a Divine 9 bakery. So I was just having the conversation with one of my sorors who works with me in my company, one of the producers. And I was like, why don't we have something for our orgs? Why don't we have something? There's so many of us that work together on various projects. Queen Latifah is a member of Delta Sigma Theta. Sam Jackson is a member of Divine 9. Cedric the Entertainer is a member of Divine 9. Angela Bassett is a member of Divine 9. So many people, right? So many people are members of Divine 9 fraternities and sororities. I have like a whole list of them. Steve Harvey, Shaquille O'Neal, like so many performers and artists and creators and entertainment. Legacy. She has a legacy. All right. Legacy. Pinky Cole, like so many people we know. So why not bring those people together and create an opportunity for us to do what I've been on here ranting all night about, which is to create a space where positive, empowering, inspiring content and stories and information can be shared with community, can be shared with everyone, because our mission in our orgs is to lift and empower our community. We all have various initiatives and various ways to do it, but the whole point is to collectively donate your time and your energy and your love for our community, to do things that lift us and hopefully inspire us to just become greater. It just, happens to be the mission of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. But everyone has in Divine Nine organizations has a really awesome and incredible initiative or two or 10 that empower and lift our communities. And it is also a reminder for those of us in the Divine Nine TV family, and that's exactly what we are, a family and a community, to constantly be reminded of the commitment that we've made to lift and to positively impact our community. So it is a constant reminder. Now, Worth TV is women in reality film and TV, and we will license content to divine9tv.com. The other thing is when we say owned by the culture, led by the divine, it is a platform that does exactly that, that allows our culture, our community to have ownership of the preeminent business assets, the intellectual properties that we create. And it is led by members of these organizations that understand the value of our content and our stories. It broke my heart when I came across the clip of the young woman in the car talking about we just don't have anything. And when I think about the fact that I've been on this mission to change the narrative in some way, right? To have less culturally incompetent lenses telling our stories and guiding our community, not because I want a piece of the money, because but why not have a piece of the wealth, an equitable piece of the wealth that it builds? But more importantly, because I want to have the ability to preserve the legacy of our community, the stories within our communities, the stories many of you have never heard. Like if I said, what y'all know about the Real Housewives League, the Detroit Housewives League? The Housewives? I don't know, not the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the Detroit Housewives League, which was the polar opposite of what we see depicted on the Housewives of Atlanta. These women, starting in Detroit, led the first economic protest. The reason why they led it, how successful it was, what ultimately happened with them building a freeway through it and them having to migrate from one area in the city to the next area. It is very, very close to the Tulsa story, you guys. But we don't know that story because it's been tucked away, either through the shame and embarrassment of what happened to the community or the fact that people just forgot and didn't care. Phyllis Hyman, we're having conversations about mental health and challenges every single day. I've been trying to get this Phyllis Hyman film done. Yeah, I'm not bullshit. Where are we? Hold on. Which side is it on? Let me show y'all. You see on my shelf, some of y'all can see that's Strength of a Woman. That Strength of a Woman book back there, right there where my finger's pointing. I've been wanting to do that story forever. Why? Because it tells the story of Phyllis Hyman, who was an advocate for equality and fairness in this industry, who was treated like a piece of sugar, honey, iced tea. No, she's treated like a piece of shit. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And she suffered from bipolar disorder. And even through suffering, she worked really hard with her amazing voice and her amazing gift to deliver for us as an entertainer, which is something so many of us do. So if we had stories like Strength of a Woman, which, by the way, that book was written by Jason A. Michael, who's from Detroit. If you don't have it, you should get it. It's a limited edition. I want to option the book. I really want to option the book and want to tell the story. I want Kiki Wyatt to play. I told Kiki a long time ago, either Kiki Wyatt or Jasmine Sullivan to play Phyllis in this. I used to want to do it, but now I'm less interested in being, in front of the camera performing. I'm more interested in, really establishing the platforms for people who still want to do that. I'm 55, guys. I'm ready to, pivot into technology. Your girl is definitely moving into the space of becoming a tech founder. I am a tech founder. I just haven't been seeded or funded yet. But anyway, guys, I am so grateful that you guys hung out with me. Shout out to whoever retweeted this on Twitter that has a couple hundred people that stuck with me all night. The other platforms have a long way to go when it comes to equality. Honestly, I think it is a form of segregation. I just do. I think when you have, and the reason I kept referencing it, people are like, why does she keep saying that? I mean, there are 200 of us on this platform watching her. To have 200,000 followers on Instagram and literally have 2 and 3 people watching at a time is not that I'm not saying anything interesting or worthy of people paying attention to. It is because the algorithm has been manipulated to silence voices like mine. Because nobody wants you saying, hey, go over to divine9tv.com. Because, of course, I'm supposed to be dancing in the videos over here. That's why Fanbase was created. Shout out to Isaac Hayes and what he's doing over there. We know what it is. We know what it is. It's no secret. We know what it is. How you have 200,000 people following you and you can literally reach. And the other thing I've noticed is that I have unfollowed people without unfollowing them, and people who have unfollowed me and said, oh, I thought I was following you. So, I mean, the game is rigged. And the only way that you can hopefully help prevent that is by building and creating your own community. And that is the reason why we are so hyper focused on promoting divine9tv.com, because I truly believe that we deserve a space where we can go and help bring our community back from these 30 years of what C. Dolores Tucker tried to prevent. It is shameful. It is shameful. It is shameful when you think about the fact that 30 plus years ago, someone tried to prevent the Diddy documentary from happening. And I'm just going to put it like that. 30 years ago, if we had paid attention to what C. Dolores Tucker was trying to tell us about what was happening with entertainment and media, there would probably be, R. Kelly would probably still be singing R. Kelly songs. Diddy would probably still be Diddy bopping. Suge would probably, because, and then maybe not, because maybe they wouldn't have become so hugely successful off of the trauma and toxic, destructive narratives that have just played out for so many years. So I've been talking about this for at least since 2012, when I got hip to the game and what reality TV did. And I guess that I'm just assigned to not just talk about it, but to activate the solution. And if you want to know what the solution is very simple. The solution is very clear.
The timing is divine for real talent to shine, real stories to be told. Watch it all unfold. It's time to set the stage for greatness to be made. Time to prove that we can uplift and entertain. Shows that make you laugh and some that make you cry. News and information to help you find out why. Music, food, and fashion fills who you shows with divine inspiration. Honoraries in my HBCU. We got R&B divas, we got R&B kings, R&B live performers in a film called Broken Things. She speaks live, divas and cocktails, the brand new musical drama. It Girls Diary of a Diva is coming back all new. A short film, social conflict, producing curtains too. From the bottom up, Kool-Aid Central, social conflict and D9 News.
Did you say hello? Can you say hello to you people? Hello. Hello. I love you too. I love you too. All right, you guys. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with us on this episode of Nights with Nikki. You gonna say goodnight, baby? 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 Y'all see this big old head. This big old head, Shay. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. You guys, I appreciate y'all. I thank you guys for hanging out with me. I am done with tonight's episode of Nights with Nikki. Please make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to the 200 plus people watching me on X. I really appreciate y'all for hanging with your girl. Michael Jackson ain't have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Hello. Okay, now you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, yes, I think you can hear me now. Thank you to the 200 plus people who have been watching us on X tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Tuning in to Nights with Nikki. Please go to divine9tv.com and register. We are doing our first official launch next year. The launch date is actually going to be March 23rd, which is the anniversary of my sister's passing. We actually pushed everything back because we got some really cool things that are brewing, right? Michael Jackson ain't have shit to do with Jeffrey Epstein, and neither did Diana Ross. So don't believe that bullshit, honey. I see. Tell them to show you the receipts, the real ones, not the redacted ones. Okay? All right, guys. Have a good night. I appreciate y'all. You have been watching Nights with Nikki. I'll be back to hang out with y'all tomorrow night, and we'll get deeper into the stuff. Okay. Say good night, Kato. Say good night. Good night, Good night, everybody.